Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Royal Instinct. Today we're going to be watching a video discussing Carl Jung, game theory, and the hidden war between justice and creativity. We are here to discuss how to escape tyranny, how to escape the current problems in the world. The world is full of problems. The world is coming to an end, in an essence, and many people have lost hope. Many people have lost um, faith in the current system. Many people are beginning to doubt that they can ever escape poverty, that they can ever escape the current tyranny that we live under. Um, if you're like me, someone who's just fed up with how things are run at the moment, the leaders that have been put into place have sold us out. The people who are in charge right now are not competent enough. The people who are in charge do not have our best interest at heart. They realize it's the end game. They are trying to virtue signal and pretend that they have our best interest, the people. And in reality, behind our backs, they are selling off all the assets, all the resources. They're collecting all the money, and they are planning to escape. Okay, what can you do about it? How can you escape depression? How can you escape self-hate, self-doubt, a life full of apathy, a life full of no hope? What you have to do is you have to find the inner strength, find the inner king within you. You have to decide that you want to be the person who is in charge instead of being the person who is, in essence, the slave of the system, right? You don't want to be the cog in the wheel. You want to own the wheel. And because the current system doesn't work right now, I have decided and took it upon myself to establish a new system, a better system, a system that will be for the people, run by the people. However, this ain't going to be a thing where, you know, I can get 10 billion people on board, right? Because most people are too stupid. Most people are too dumb to realize what is happening. They rather be daydreaming and pretending that the real reality that is coming, the real feudal system, the real hell that is about to be unleashed upon us is actually happening. If you do mention this to anybody, you are deemed a conspiracy theorist. You are deemed a nut job, in essence, somebody who has a tinfoil hat. But when every conspiracy theory, right, ends up becoming a reality 6 months later, 12 months later down the line, it's like, guys, what the fuck are we doing, right? It used to be a big conspiracy that the leaders of the world, the people who run governments, are secret pedophiles, working in the shadows, fucking children, in essence, right? Like, you had the Pizzagate scandal, you had all sorts of satanic rituals, for example, people discussed before, and then you have something like Jeffrey Epstein come out, who's literally involved with Bill Clinton, Donald Trump, whether Andrew, Prince Andrew of the royal family, right? The head of Barclays Bank, Tony Blair, all these people had some sort of connection to Jeffrey Epstein, and Bill Gates is another one, right? Whether they were on the plane, whether they were on his island, whether they were fucking the kids, who knows? There has been some secret footage that the CIA and FBI recovered, but we don't have access to it, so we can only speculate, right? Let's give them the benefit of the doubt. They're not fucking the kids, great, okay? But Jeffrey was, right? One of them was. We have evidence of one of them at least doing it, and that should start alarm bells ringing in your head, that what they're feeding us ain't what it seems, right? What they're trying to show us over here isn't what in reality is happening over here, right? There's two different things happening at the same time, and it is up to you to decide whether you buy into that or whether you are willing to question it, whether you're willing to look beyond the curtain, see what's really happening, and kind of wake up, right? Like, birth rates are falling in the West. People are losing hope. People are losing faith in the system. Young men can't get a date right? Because they're all being scooped up by billionaires, being flown out to Dubai, Monaco, Miami, Las Vegas. Young men are losing hope, right? And they are checking out. And when you have a society of people checking out into apathy, when they are going into depression, when they are going online, when they are playing video games and wasting their life, wasting their time to drown out the and numb themselves from the problems of the world, you know, what hope can you inspire in these people, right? You have to tell them, look, the system's fucked. I agree with you, right? But that doesn't mean you can't try and establish a new system, right? What I'm trying to do here on this channel is I'm literally sending out a bat signal to the world, right? I am assembling the Avengers. I want you to come on this journey with me. People who are like-minded, people who think like me, people who I get on with, people who I want to work with, not these fake friends, not these fake people who you have to placate to, who you have to do these fake niceties to. I want you to join me to establish a kingdom, establish my kingdom, and you to establish your kingdom. Become the king, become a benevolent king, become a philosopher king, become somebody who is in charge, right? Because power has to be taken, right? You can't just give somebody power. You have to decide for yourself that you want to take power, that you want to be bigger than what you are, go beyond what you are. Yesterday we discussed on the live stream, check that out if you haven't watched it yet, how Goku, from Dragon Ball Z, his life purpose is to fight, to become a martial artist, to be someone that is the protector of people, a protector of goods, uh, a protector of good, who is willing to stand up to evil, to tyranny, and to become a master at what he does. What he does is martial arts. He wants to become the best martial artist and to keep growing, to keep going beyond his limitations, which is what the whole transformations in Dragon Ball Z is. It is finding that power within you and bringing it out to the world. Obviously, it's a cartoon. I'm not actually delusional enough to suggest that me and you are going to ascend, although that'd be kind of fucking cool if that happened. But what I do suggest is that we can bring out that power from within us. And what one of the great thought leaders of the world, the great psychologist Carl Jung, who we will be discussing today, talked about the shadow, talked about bringing forward within your personality the thing that you are suppressing. Most people are good people. Good people have that inner conflict within themselves, where they have that good versus evil, and the bad things, which society tells you to suppress your anger. Society tells you to suppress your ambition. Society tells you to suppress all those things that make a man really a man. To suppress your masculinity in order to placate to the current system, in order to just fit in, be a sheep. They take away your fangs and your claws, your weapons, your strength, your creativity, your ability to think for yourself, and join the system, be part of the system where you are somebody who just follows orders, in essence becomes a slave, becomes a what Nietzsche meant by slave morality. It's like, you become a slave to the status quo, right? You don't think for yourself. You don't have your own values, your own beliefs, your own belief system, and it that is what stops progress, right? You watching right now within yourself have something that you can bring to the table. You have something that humanity can benefit from, right? There might be something that you are passionate about, something that you are interested in, something that you have knowledge on, right? A perspective that nobody else in the world has. right? And that is unique to you. I want to find those people. I'm like, let's discuss these opinions that the mainstream aren't willing to discuss. Let's take these ideas. Let's build multi-million companies using dollar companies, $1 trillion companies using these ideas. You know, like all these billionaires that we have now, they're all investing in AI, right? What will AI accomplish? Right, it'll make a lot of work redundant. A lot of people will be unemployed because of it. Right, great. But in the in for the for the development of humanity, it it's actually a hindrance because if all this money is being spent on developing, um, if all this developing technology and AI and artificial intelligence, wouldn't that money um, be better spent on developing the human idea, human creativity? Wouldn't it be better spent on advancing humanity, right? Like all these tech billionaires want to merge with technology, right? If you read there's a book called Sapiens, which was a real big hit. Everyone's probably read it. But Yuval Noah Harris or whatever. He wrote also a book called Homo Deus. And in that book, he pretty much, he is just literally wanking himself to death, masturbating himself into a frenzy, discussing how he wants to be, upload his subconscious onto AI, onto into technology, merge with technology, and kind of go down this eugenics route of trying to live forever. And even if that is the case, even if that is a possibility, it is not a possibility for the likes of me and you, right? They see us as scum. They see us as the enemy. They don't see us as worthy. Elon Musk wants to go to Mars, right? Do you think if he has a space shuttle, right, and he starts a civilization on Mars, do you think me and you are invited, right? Like, do you think me and you are invited? Like, I don't think so. I think he is somebody who thinks the Earth is fucked, right? He wants to get off this planet and go back to and go up to Mars, right? Hide out there underground for a bit, right? Live forever, and then when it's safe, after all the nuclear waste, all the nuclear um, radiation has gone down, come back to Earth and try to salvage what you can. It is an evil plan. It is a plan that is, you know, that is a plan of somebody who doesn't have the best interest of the human race in their head, right? And you have to think about it. Like, how comes all these people in power are psychopaths? How comes they're all these people who have a disdain for humanity, right? Like, what is it that once you have power and money that you have a disdain for humanity? What is it within the human condition that causes that? And what I think is a lot of these people are autistic. A lot of these people don't have the social skills. They don't have empathy. Um, I'm somebody who's very empathetic. I'm, every person's complex, right? Like I, for example, like I can be very stoic. I can be very, like David Goggins, just fucking work and deliver, execute on the mission, to try and achieve your goal. But I'm also like I really feel sorry for people who suffer, right? Suffering. When I see suffering, it really makes me sad. It really makes me think like what is the point of it all, right? What is the point of success if other people have to suffer as a consequence, right? It shouldn't be a zero-sum game. It should be a win-win for everybody. Um, but the people who think like that aren't in charge, right? They don't get to the top. The people who think like that, right? And I'm thinking like, fuck this. I've had enough, right? Like, I'm willing to give it a go, try, you know, and change the current system. I want to bring good people together who think like me. And if you ever watched Planet of the Apes, right? Caesar goes to the orangutan, like together ape strong, right? Like, he gets the twigs and you can't break them because they're all together. It's like, yeah, man, let's get good people together. Let's put good people in charge, right? Let's not get corrupted by evil people, the autistic elites, who don't understand empathy. You know, let us rule, let us make the decisions, and then civilization will see that we, that we can be trusted, that we do have the best interest. But let's get into this video. Let's start with this Carl Jung video. It's from the channel Sisyphus 55, which is a great channel, discussing different philosophical ideas. He really gets into the human condition on why suffering, depression happens, and tries to find a solution for it, right? And in this video, he is discussing Carl Jung. So let's start here.
It can be difficult to schedule in those moments of spontaneity or madness. In fact, the act itself can undermine any sense of creativity. How can we lead lives of order and excitement? This was the goal of the psychiatrist Carl Jung, a man who dedicated his life to exploring the depths of the unconscious while trying his best not to go insane himself. During a difficult time in Jung's personal life, he experienced a confrontation with the unconscious, in which he heard voices, saw visions, and felt scared for himself and his mind. Just a year before, Sigmund Freud, his colleague and self-prescribed mentor, had refused his ideas on dreams, leading to Jung being isolated from most of his peers.
Jung is being isolated by his peers, right? But what you have to understand is the human condition, what you perceive to be reality, what you perceive to be what the collective reality is in essence a hallucination, right? Every person is hallucinating, right? But because we are trained on the same hallucination, we are trained to hallucinate the same thing together, we can all agree upon seeing the same thing, right? I'll give you an example. Like when me and you see snow, right? We see, when it snows, you can have light snow, you can have heavy snow. When it sets, if when cars go by, it turns into black snow, right? Like in the West, there's like maybe like 4, 5, 6 different words for snow. But if you're an Eskimo, right, and your reality is living in snow 24/7, there are something like, I think, 17 or 18 or even I think up to 27 words, different types of snow that they can see and perceive, right? Because collectively they have different names for what different types of snow, where me and you might see one type of snow, right, and be like, okay, yeah, that is snow type A, right? But the Eskimo will be like, actually no, that's actually snow type A, B, C, D, and E, right? So because they see the nuance within it. But that is because they've been taught up in that culture. That is because they've been taught and brought up to see the difference, whereas me and you haven't, right? Because you aren't a person, right? What you are is a brain, right? Because thinking and ideas all happen in the brain, right? Your eyes, all your senses, all your sense parts, but basically your senses, like your eyes, nose, mouth, ears, touch, right? Like that they're connected to the nervous system, which sends signal to your brain, and your brain interprets those signals to create an image within your head, and that is how you understand things, right? It's like, like you have a pen, right? Right. When you're little, you're taught this is a pen, and this is used to write stuff, right? Okay. They don't teach you in school that, oh, this is something to stab someone with, right? Okay. It is a pen to write with, right? And is repeated over and over again till your subconscious, till your brain sees a pen and be like, oh, that is writing device. Okay. And I'm taught that, you watching is taught that, and everybody around the world is taught that, right? So then we are hallucinating, right, this pen together and we have a common understanding for it, right? Whereas different cultures, right, who don't have any connection to each other might have something, right, like a stick, okay, and then one culture sees it as a weapon and another culture can see it as like if it's a stick with like loads of leaves, like you can actually use it as a broom, right? Because cultures in India use like actually no, what they do is they get straw together, tie it up, and then use that as a broom, right? Like and people in the West don't do that, but it is a collective hallucination that we're having. And here Jung is being told that your dreams, right, are a hallucination, but it's like no, everything is a hallucination, right? And it's the meaning that we give it which you know, gives it meaning in essence, right? So what Carl Jung was being ostracized for, right, which later became his genius, okay, right? But at the time he was being mocked for it, right? And you know, a big thing what I'm telling you is whatever your zone of genius is not like, even if you're being mocked for it, you have to go for it, because at the end of it all, you can uncover something like Jung did, right? Jung is still remembered. You know, I think it's nearly 100 years now since his passing, or since he was like alive. And you know, if he decided to stop just because Sigmund Freud, his mentor, told him like, "No, mate, you're you're walking down the wrong fucking path," his insight, his knowledge would have been lost, right? And yeah, because we're all distracted by the algorithms, because we're all distracted by a thousand different fucking things, right? Because we don't have the self-confidence to go forwards, explore different ideas, because we have so much self-doubt. It stops us from bringing forth ideas, you know, genius ideas, contributing to the advancement of humanity. Don't leave it to these, you know, charlatans, fake billionaires who don't have your best interest. I want you to be the person who's at the forefront of genius and showcasing it to the world.
This period brought about psychotic symptoms and led him to a very dark place. However, in typical Jung fashion, he saw this as a valuable experience to learn from and began inducing hallucinations in a process of active imagination in private, and used his recordings to create his Red Book, firstly consisting of several black leather notebooks. In 1923, around 10 years after he began his experiments on himself, he would begin building the Bollingen Tower, finishing it in 1935. His life around 1930 was incredibly busy, not helped by his intense discipline and obsessive hard-working ways. He would see patients for 8 to 9 hours a day, giving persistent lectures and seminars, and only writing during the holidays. Bollingen Tower was a retreat from his hectic life.
You know, he was working as a psychiatrist, and then he was exploring these ideas in his free time, right? And you might thinking, you know, like that's a lot of work, that's a lot of time that he spent on it. But I think if you was to ask him, it wasn't hard for him, because he was in his zone of genius. He was exploring ideas that he was interested in. It was his calling in life for him to be a psychiatrist, help people, and then explore these ideas, right? I mean, Carl Jung is not known. Obviously, everybody knows he was a psychiatrist, but he wasn't known for the people he helped, right? Like the actual patients that he had. He's known for his ideas that he wrote in, like, you know, like the Red Book, or I think another book is Maps. Is it Maps of Meaning, or Symbols of Meaning, or something like that? Like that is what he's famous for, right? He he was able to, you know, do that, all this work, because it was something that he was passionate about. And hang on, we have a message here. Let's see. King Anthony, welcome, mate. I hope you had a good day yesterday. I got your bat signal in March 2024. Thanks to the algorithm, I know it I know it was then because I messaged a friend you were my new favorite channel. I don't have a good excuse for waiting so long to reach out. Hey man, don't worry about it. You're here now. You're here, um, building your kingdom, right? We discussed yesterday that you should change your name to King Anthony. And look, man, I don't know much about you. I don't know what your situation is, what you're working on. But let me know what interested you, in this channel. Why are you here? Why is this something that that you found insightful? Something, what is it about this channel that you decided was for you, that this is the right place where you want to be a viewer, be somebody who wants to be involved with in the community with, let me know, how I can help you, what's going on. Like, I'm trying to change the world here, you know what I mean? Like it is our time. I don't want the world to be in the hands of people that I don't trust, I want to find good people. And if you're a good person, let me know, and maybe there's something that we can do together. What you do as a career, where are you going, what are your goals, let me know, Anthony, you know what I mean? I'm here for you, mate. And let's see if this is something where we can build together. But let's jump into this other video about game theory.
Right now, you're in a game. Not one with controllers or scoreboards, but one you wake up to every day. A game made of conversations, favors, eye contact, silence, tone, timing, apologies, expectations, forgiveness, and the invisible math behind human behavior. Whether you realize it or not, every interaction you have, who you trust, who you avoid, when you speak up, when you stay quiet, is part of a larger pattern of choices. And those choices don't just affect what happens in the moment, they shape the next moment, and the next, and the next. That's where game theory begins, not with competition, but with awareness. Think about something as small as dishes in a sink. A simple agreement between roommates turns into a pattern. One person slips once, the other lets it go. The next time, they slip again. You're now faced with a decision, not about dishes, but about strategy.
You have to ask yourself, why is this person even in this fucking position, right? Like, why in the position where they have to fucking worry about the dishes, sharing the dishes with a roommate? It's like, nobody wants a fucking roommate, right? Nobody wants to, you might want to live with your girl. Here on this channel, we don't believe, that you should be living with your girl or just one girl. You should be living with multiple girls. You should have a harem of women. You should be treated like a king, and you should have, hundreds of concubines ready to serve on you, because that is who you are, that you are a king. And you should have servants washing your dishes for you. But the person who ends up in this situation and then leaving up to chance for their roommate to clean the dishes for them, does that roommate even have the best interest? If they're thinking like, oh, we're in it together, we're both here, we both share this space, let's maintain it together. You have an obligation to do your duty, not just for you, but also your roommate. Or but this person in this scenario given here obviously doesn't have the respect from their roommate, where they think, oh, if I don't do the dishes today, then this person won't fucking mind, whatever, right? Be somebody who is seen as someone, right? And when you're a king, when you bring out that the royal instinct within you, when you are somebody who is in charge, who is a leader, you don't have those problems, right? Like, why make your life more difficult than it really is, than it needs to be, right? Be somebody who is in charge, be somebody who makes a difference, and everything else will fall into place with you, right? Whatever your zone of genius is, whatever the thing is that you want to do in this life, right? Like, build your kingdom around that.
Do you clean it to keep peace now, or leave it to protect fairness later? You're not choosing between clean or dirty. You're choosing between cooperation or consequence. And your choice silently teaches the other person how to treat you in the future. That's the real game, not what's happening, but what your response teaches. Game theory reveals the truth most people never notice. The world isn't shaped by what people do, but by how others respond. Someone can betray, take advantage, ignore or disrespect you, but only if they believe there will be no cost. Someone can
Yeah, because there is no cost, there is no consequences. People just will disrespect you unless you become somebody, right? Unless you, and how do you become somebody in today's society, right? It is like, you know, if you follow somebody else, like fucking Andrew Tate, right? Andrew Tate, became, I think it was in 2022, 2023, he became the most viral thing on the internet. Okay, and from Andrew Tate, he spawned a lot of wannabes, a lot of lookalikes, a lot of people trying to follow his philosophy in life, doing what he did. But at the end of the day, that they're still followers. They are not unique. They're not somebody who have anything new to add to the conversation, right? They're just being a poor imitation of Andrew Tate. And Andrew Tate, a lot of people say he's beneficial to their lives because he got them into the gym, he got them into doing martial arts, he got them into taking their life more seriously, which is always great. Okay, but don't be a follower, right? Like be somebody who is creating their own reality, right? Be somebody, because only with authority, only with leadership skills, only if other people look up to you, will you be taken seriously. Will you be somebody who women find attractive, right? Women don't want somebody who is just a follower of someone else. Why would you fuck the follower when you can fuck the leader, right? And I want you to be in a position of where you are at the forefront, where you are in charge of the game instead of playing the game, right? Like be the person who, you know, who is seen as a de facto leader, the de facto king, and women will you will absorb them. They will literally be you'll be surrounded by them, because every woman wants to be with the best guy that they can get. Okay, and if you want wealth, if you want women, if you want status, if you want all the things that people get greedy about, all the things that people want to have in the world, is the best way to do it is to establish a kingdom, become the ruler, become the person who is in charge in that environment, and then everything else will fall into place, right? And how do you do it? How do you bring that out? It's like you can't fake it. You can't follow Andrew Tate. You can't follow other people. You can't follow Kanye West. You can't follow Drake. You can't follow your favorite football player. Like it has to come from within you. You have to establish something new, right? Like if you like Anthony, like you like Star Wars, you like Jedi. I looked a little bit into it yesterday, actually. Is it the Jedi truthers? Is it that you what did I read? The Jedi truthers, that there is a conspiracy within the Jedi Order that you're trying to uncover, like that there is corruption within the Jedi community, the Jedi Order, right? Like that is your zone of genius. That is something that you need to further go into, and within that niche, Anthony, why aren't you the leader of it, right? Like, what is stopping you from taking over? I think you said you're 10th degree within that community, which means you already have the knowledge. You already know more than most people in that community, right? Why aren't you the person who is in charge? You might already be, Anthony. You might surprise me. I never know, right? But let's say you're not, right? You could easily take the thing over, right? That could be your thing. You could then align the people, right, into how you see best, the best thing for the community to achieve whatever end goal that you lot are trying to achieve, right? I didn't read up too much of it. I did read a little bit about it because I said I would. And, you know, I mean, I'm not a big fan of Star Wars. Star Wars was never my thing. I had a primary school teacher that loved Star Wars. And I watched, I think, The Empire Strikes Back when I was like 8 years old. But I never really got into it. I was more like, I like Back to the Future and Indiana Jones. I don't know. I just like more. I don't like futuristic shit. I like more nostalgic shit, like from the past, like historic. but that was always me. But let's read a little bit more about game theory.
Stay loyal, generous, honest, and helpful, but only if they believe cooperation is rewarded. In other words, the game is never just about the move being made. It's about the future behavior that move creates. And here's the twist that blindsides almost everyone. You don't get to opt out. Even if you don't want drama, even if you just stay chill, even if you don't like confrontation, that itself becomes a strategy, and other people play off of it. No decision is still a decision. Silence is a move. Tolerance is a signal. Ignoring something is still feedback. You're always teaching people how to treat you, even when you think you're letting it go.
Yeah, you are in charge of your destiny. You are in charge of letting people know who you are, what you're about. You know, like look, Anthony, like you're in Montreal right now, right? I'm here in England. I'm here in the United Kingdom, and but we met on the internet, right? Like the internet is the new world. Okay, like we don't exist in real life. We exist in virtual reality, right? Mark Zuckerberg wants us to literally be plugged into the metaverse. Okay, everybody is on Instagram, everybody's on TikTok, everybody's on these platforms. They exist on the platforms, right? If you don't participate in the platforms, do you even exist? Right? Most people don't have any friends in real life anymore. Most people are isolated, they're lonely, they are being driven into their homes, right? The World Economic Forum wants everybody locked into the houses. They want to take away your freedoms. They want you to be satiated, to numb yourself with vices online. And then online, they want to try and control what you do, how you interact with the world. But people go online and they find the niches. Like you found your Star Wars Jedi Truther niche. You know, I'm here trying to find people who want to change the world. I want to find people who are like want to create a whole new system. I want to find people who maybe they don't have the confidence or the ambition to try and change the world, but they like the idea of it. And I you know, I'm here somebody who can coach people like that. I'm somebody who can find people and bring out their kingly instinct within them, right? Because every person that I work with, every person that I want to be friends with, every person that I want to spend any fucking amount of time with has to be ambitious. They have to want more. They have to be able to go beyond themselves, right? Like, and a big part of it is a willingness to fail, because a willingness to go beyond fear, the thing that is stopping you, right? Like you have to be able to ascend in one way, and become greater than what you currently are. Okay. What stops most people from doing it is their own inner voice, their own negative thoughts, their own thinking patterns. And I'm somebody who's always had like self-doubt when I was young. Like when like I grew up, I was born in England, but I moved to Germany, and I lived 10 years in Germany. When I was 10 years old, I moved to England again with my family. Actually, just my mum. My father came 2 years after. And during that time, you know, I had a great childhood in Germany, but when I came to England, it like I felt very alone. I felt good because it was a fresh start. A lot of people, I didn't know anybody, so I had to make all new friends, and I felt like I was kind of having to prove myself, and it was I felt like very disconnected, and I think that carried on into my teenage years, where I've always felt that disconnect, like there was something wrong with me, like I had something was missing. Okay. And then my parents had like they owned like a fish and chip shop, like a takeaway, and like a fast food place basically. And I had to work in it, which I fucking hated. I really hated it. And because I had to do something that I really, really hated, I'd rather, you know, after school, would have rather gone out to play with my friends. But instead I had to work, and I didn't work just like a little bit here. I worked like you know, when I was like 12, 13, 14, like a full grown man. Um, and I really, really, really resented my life situation at that point. Um, and I always felt like something was lacking, right? But now, right, like for a lot of people that they carry that over, right, and they you can never let that go. But it's like I got over it. It was like, well, that was then, and this is now. And now I want to be in full control of my destiny. Now I want to be somebody who is in charge. I don't want to be told what to fucking do. I really hate being told what to do, right? I really, really hate it. But I'm somebody who wants to take control, okay, be in charge, right? But I want to do it for the benefit of other people, right? Because nothing makes me happier in life than seeing other people prosper, right? Like when I was at university, I was a choreographer of a dance team, and the best part of it was not the fact that I was in charge. It was the fact that I was able to unite a group of people together, and that I was able to allow them to achieve goals and heights, develop skills um, that they never believed that they were capable of, right? Okay. And that's what, and I'm like, okay, that was in the context of a university dance class, right? I mean, we done a number of competitions that we competed in, um, but that was in that context. But I'm like, why put a limit to yourself, right? Like you have one life. You have one life. Why not go for it? Why not be the ultimate fucking leader of the world, right? Because what gives people power, right? It's other people giving them power. So why not bring together a group of people, right? Have me, you, and 100 other people, right? Like let's say there's 100 of us, and we become truly powerful, truly thought leaders, right? We become geniuses. We become the thought leaders in our fields, right? Subject matter experts, and then start all these little kingdoms, 100 kingdoms across the world, right? And people will follow us. We support each other. We build with one another. Like we are bound to then take over the world. We are bound to bring in a new, and the only people that we work with are good people, people who have that you can rely on, that you can trust, that have integrity. Um, like these are the people that you want running the world. Okay, this is what the human race needs. This is what the world has never had. Okay, and I'm saying like let's bring that to the forefront. Okay, um, let's have a look. I'm not a Star Wars fan either. It was a small community centered on one YouTube channel from 2021 to 2023. The content creator used a lot of Star Wars terms as analogies. I miss him and his content. What happened to him, man? What happened to that guy? Let me know what his channel was. I might, if his videos are still up, I want to check him out. What did you find compelling about his content? Small community centered on one YouTube channel. Yeah, look, man. I'm not the biggest thing. I'm not clued up on Star Wars too much, but what was the underlying philosophy that you found so compelling about that guy? Do you get what I mean? Because he it looks like he had a big impact on you, right? Like, I don't know how old you are. I don't know what you do, what you study, but there must have been something underlying about his message that you found like really compelling, that it drove you to join that community. Like, what was it that interested you to that guy? I could take his place and make it bigger. Yeah, man. Like, look, man, it's your choice. It's your choice, right? Like, do you want to be the person who thinks small, or do you want to be the person who takes the responsibility and decides to bring about something larger, more grandiose than anybody has ever imagined, right? Like you have that power, and at the end of the day, look, man, it's your decision, right? Like, Donald Trump is the president of the United States right now, right? He made that decision, right? Whatever you think about him, if you think he's an idiot, if you think he's a fucking genius, if you like him or you hate him, right? He decided to be the president, right? I know he got voted, but he decided to put himself in that race. He was utterly himself, like he didn't hold back on his views, and a lot of people thought like, this guy's the real deal, and it got him into a position of power, right? Like, it could easily be you, right? Because you don't know the next thing that's about to happen, right? You don't know who, like us two meeting, right? Who are we going to connect with in 10 days time, right? This is only the second live stream I've done, right? Like that, you're the first person who's commented, right? You're officially the OG. You're officially the OG, Anthony, right? But you don't know who else is going to start watching, right? You don't know who else is going to start joining the chat. Who, and we can really build something here. We can really take over the globe. We can really start a new civilization. And look, man, like I don't know about you, but like, I want to make the world a better place. But I also want all the fucking rewards that come with it. I also want all the fucking glory. I also want all the hot women, right? Like, I want to have a woman from every fucking country, and she has to be a fucking, like a real true hottie, right? That people, as soon as they see her, they have to they can't look away because she's that hot. But when she talks to you, she's literally like absolutely in awe of you, because you are the true king that was promised. I like your channel because I'm constantly seeking to learn. You get to the truth of the matter effortlessly on a wide variety of topics. Yeah, man. I'm somebody, that's, I've got a degree in economics. I studied English literature. I lived in Germany. I grew up in England. So I grew up in Germany. I lived in England from the age of 10. I'm Indian, right? I'm Punjabi, right? I love, around Christmas time, there's nothing better on TV than a fucking Jesus documentary, right? Like, for some reason, like, I love like a Jesus conspiracy. If you ever watched what's the thing, the Da Vinci Code, right? Like, I know it's fake, right? But like, I like the idea of something like that, right? Like a big conspiracy around Jesus, him being hidden. I have different curiosities that I've kind of always kind of followed. Like, I like hip hop music, and then once you have all these different ideas, things that you're interested in, like, as you get older, you kind of start to find the underlying principles underneath it, and there's different things that always connect it, right? Like, it's like, I like hip hop because they talk about a history, a sense of community, a sense of ambition, right? I like you know like a Jesus documentary, for example, like Christianity. I like the idea of um like a hidden, like a secret society that try to hide truth from the powers to be, right? um and when you pull from all that, right, like you really develop a unique perspective in life. Okay, now I'm not saying I'm doing anything special, right? Like everybody has that. If you really speak to them, if you read, and if they're able to pull together different ideas from different interests that they have, they can create something totally new, something totally unique. And I really think everybody's capable of that, but it is down to them. It is down to the individual to decide whether they want to explore that or not. Okay. And his name was Pink Elephant. He read hundreds of esoteric books, analyzed TV and films for hidden meaning, talked about psychology, including Jung a lot, the symbols and intentions of the controllers. Yeah, man. I'll check it out. If he still has some videos left, I might look up Pink Elephant, see what this guy's about. But yeah, man, like there's also a point to make. A lot of people, especially on YouTube, on the internet, they have different ideas, right? Like they can pull together from all these sources. Fucking burping on on the live stream. They pull together from all these different sources, but at the end of the day, like they're educating people, great, which is great, right? Like I love education, but are they making the world a better place, right? And what I mean by that is like there's one thing just educating and profiting on YouTube, but it's like where's the real world difference that you're making? Like let's pull these things together, all these ideas, all these different learnings, all this knowledge that we have, and build something to pivot away and get out the system in essence, to become like what I want to do is I want to become de facto rulers of the system, create a whole new system where we are in charge. And like look, man, like I'm fucking fed up of this system. I'm fucking fed up of the dating market. I'm fed up of like the tax system. I'm fed up of the endless wars, the endless problems in the world, the endless fake gurus, the fake politicians, the fake leaders in the world, right? And what I want is a whole new system, right? And I know for a fact that if I feel like that, right, there's other people in the world who feel like that, who understand what I'm talking about, who also are like, yeah, man, like fuck this shit. Like, look. If you lived your life how you lived it the last year, where would you be in 10 years' time? Most people will be fucking nowhere, the same place or worse off. There's very few people who will be better off, right? If you think that, oh yeah, I'll make a decent salary in my job, it's like, look, man, like inflation's is going to outpace your inflation is going to outpace your salary, the amount you make per year, right? Your spending power, your earning power. Okay, wages are notoriously slow to increase. Okay, wages are stagnant for much longer time than inflation, and especially, I mean, if you look at the trend of inflation within the last 15, 20 years, it's exponential, right? It's just whoosh, just goes up high, and wages aren't catching up. And the other problem is higher migration, adding people into the job market of a nation is going to suppress wages again, right? Like, but everything's getting more expensive. Everything is becoming harder to obtain, and I'm just like, nah, man, I'm not playing that game anymore, right? Like, what have we got to lose? What have you got to lose? What have I got to lose? It's like I know if I carry on living the way I'm living, it's like you're going to end up in a place of absolute depression, a place of self-doubt, a place of hating yourself, or you might just have to just buy into the system and be like, yeah, all right, fuck it. Let me just check out. Let me just, let me just booze myself up. Let me just, kill myself with online porn, OnlyFans, fast food. Like, it's great. You won't feel the pain, but was that the best of your potential? Was that the most that you could have done with your life? I don't know. I don't think so. Like, I'd rather go out, with my head held high, knowing that I gave it the best effort that I ever could have given. I'd rather go absolutely down with the ship, man, than fucking cling onto a lifeboat and then have to lick someone's feet, right? Like, nah, man, I'm not a slave. I'm not a servant. I'm not doing that shit.
What if I told you that creativity, something we usually think of as wild, mysterious, and unexplainable, actually follows mathematical patterns? From the way artists generate ideas to how scientists make breakthroughs, hidden equations, and statistical rules shape our creative lives. Today, we're going to break down the mathematics of creativity, and by the end, you'll see imagination in a whole new way. Chapter 1. Creativity isn't random. We often imagine creativity as lightning sudden, chaotic, impossible to predict. But researchers like Dean Keith Simonton, a leading psychologist of creativity, argue otherwise. He studied thousands of works by composers, scientists, and inventors, and found something surprising. Creative success follows statistical probability. The more attempts someone makes, the more likely they are to produce a masterpiece.
And why is that? Why is it that the more attempts that you have, the more chance you have of creating that masterpiece, right? It's because you're in the zone of genius, right? And like at the start, you start off like a quite wide thing. It's like, okay, I'm painting this thing, and you're like, right, well, I made this painting, okay. I'm using art as an example. Right? I made this painting. Right, everything's average on this painting, but apart from this one little thing that I've done with the brush stroke in the color blue, let me apply that to the next painting, right? And you keep trying, right? And the little wins that you get stack up, okay? The little bits of, oh, that was okay, but that was really good, right? Like the little incremental gains that you get, the little lessons that you learn get better and better and better until at the end, there is no more other option. You've had so many attempts, so many tries, right? The only option left, the only thing is an absolute masterpiece, right? Like I think yesterday I spoke about Charles Darwin, the father of evolution, right? Like who came up with the theory of evolution. We talked about Albert Einstein. Like it is literally, it's like drawing from all these resources coming together, and then you just create this absolute piece of beauty, a masterpiece, something that really encapsulate genius, right? And that is what I want from you, right? And when you have that and you can showcase it to the world, you are seen as a genius, you are seen as a leader, somebody who is smarter than everybody, right? You might not be smarter, you might have actually just got lucky because you had so many attempts at something, right? But because you persevered, because you are willing to go that extra mile than everybody else, right? Like that, you are seen as a genius. And when you're seen as a genius, you are given power by people, and then it is your choice to use that power not just for profit. The profit will come, right? Like the profit will come, the money will come, the hot women will come, but do it with align it with your inner beliefs, your core values in life, right? And one of my core values is to try and make the world a better place. It's I hate suffering, but I also hate the fact that all these people in charge can abuse us people, the good people who should be ruling the world. I want to connect with hat experts, with other truth seekers to show both sides, their blind spots, and remove the bottlenecks to progressing the world to a better way of living. Yep, man. I hear you, man. Like that's what I'm trying to do. Like, and at the end of the day, look, man. Like, if this is how you think, right? If this is what's going on in your head, like you want to connect with experts, right? Wouldn't you naturally want to become friends with those people, right? Like if you find a person who thinks exactly like you, right, who's also as ambitious as you, that you have similar sort of goals, the same goals, you can help each other in your goals, wouldn't that person be your best friend, right? Like there's a loneliness crisis in the world right now. People are lonely, people are isolated, And the reason they are is because they're not going for their zone of genius. They're not going for their life purpose. And because if everybody was in the life purpose, they would attract the right people into their lives and become the gain the best friends who would really have your back, who will never let you down, and who really want the best for you and want you to win. Like when you want to be around those people, when you feel more successful around those people, when you feel like you are about to win with those people, remove bottlenecks to progress the world, to progress in the world to a better way of living. Yeah, man. Look, you have to ask yourself, Anthony, like, why are you not doing it right now? What is stopping you from achieving that goal, right? Like, why can't you let go of whatever it is that is stopping you to become this person? This person sounds like a leader when I read these two sentences. A leader, a person who can think clearly, a person who wants the best for the world. Do you have a YouTube channel, right? Like one way is to do exactly what I'm doing, to find like-minded people on YouTube, and if you don't know how to do that, right, I work with clients online. I offer mentorship. I work with people who want to become, subject matter experts, who want to become YouTubers, not just for the sake of being fucking famous, like someone like I Show Speed, Kai Sinat, whatever his name is, Aiden Ross, like not like those people who just are chasing clout, but somebody who, like, it is a great tool to find people who are on the same wavelength for you, mate. And if that is something that you want to help with, you can go to my website, royalinstinct.com. Here I have it at the bottom here, and I think there's a link at the bottom as well. Check it out, man. Like, reach out to me. Let's see if we can work together. If that is something that is of interest to you, if that is something that's important to you, I'm sure I can help you with your goals, whatever that goal may be. Yeah, man. Let's connect. Let's see what we can do together. A masterpiece can fly under the radar, but it can have enormous ripple effects when like-minded people take the ideas and run with it. I agree, man. I tip my hat off to you. I agree with what you're saying. And the thing is, the way the world is set up right now, the way people are wasting their time, the way the algorithms are capturing people's attention and taking them away from their life purpose, it is stopping those ripple effects from taking place. Look, man, it's down to people like me and you, Anthony. If we don't establish our kingdoms, if we don't take power, if we don't become, the kings that we're supposed to be, if we don't fight side by side to destroy tyranny, to destroy injustice, the world's fucked, right? There comes a point in every man's life where he decides, are you going to take the responsibility or are you going to hide from it? And I really think that this is the end game. We're getting very close to the end of the world. This is the last chance where we can really build something that we can come together. If you're somebody who thinks like, oh yeah, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it next week, I'll do it next month, maybe next year, guys, like you have no fucking idea what's coming, man. It's like AI is here to take over. AI is literally waiting to bend us over and abuse you. Like, literally, they want to get a big fat dildo and shove it straight up your fucking ass. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and if you're happy with that, that go down to Target, go down to Boots, go down to your pharmacy and buy a big jar of lube, just to make that process easier for the elites. But if you're somebody like me who says, fuck that, like a big middle finger to the world, to the people in charge, to the people who want to enslave us, like, if you think like that, like, I'm here for you, man. Like, we can stand alongside each other and fight, but I'm not bending over to no one, man. Like, I've had enough of that. It's either me in charge, right, or no one. It's either us or them, and I choose us every single time. But that is it for today. I want to thank everyone. I want to thank Anthony for checking in. Tomorrow is going to be at a slightly earlier time, I think. I'm not sure right now. I think I'm going to live stream earlier than today. I'm going to try and keep the time consistent. Monday to Saturday will be at a similar sort of time, and Sundays I'm going to do about 2 hours earlier, 2.5 hours earlier, I think. So in the UK, it will be about 3 o'clock, I believe. And if you can make it, great. If not, just watch it on the. These live streams are being recorded, and they'll be on the Royal Instinct page. And just leave a comment, leave your questions and comments underneath if you want. If you feel inclined to add to the conversation, like Anthony has. And that's it, man. Like, let me know what you guys want to explore, what other ideas you have, how we can solve this problem of the elites. How can we strategize? How will we take over and become the de facto rulers of the world, the people who are in charge? And like I always say, man, like, if you don't have a kingdom, like, what the fuck's the point, man? Like, do you know what I mean? But thank you again. I'll see you tomorrow, and stay safe. Thank you.